I think to define what I call a cancer in a clubhouse, to define that, it's the person that doesn't want to fit into the team, that doesn't want to follow the rules, that shows up to work with an attitude. And for, how do you solve that? It's a tough question. It's one of the hardest things in business is to how you handle somebody that's not following the rules, not trying to be a team member. And what I found is that for me personally, I like to find out why that person is that way. Is there something going on outside of work that's causing him? Is it somebody inside of work that's causing that person to be, grouchy or negative or difficult? If it's somebody within, let's deal with it. If that person that's the cancer in the clubhouse is a valuable employee, does a great job running equipment, but is just grouchy and brings everybody down, at some point you gotta look at it from a business standpoint. All right, he's moving the dirt, he's finding the gold, he's really helping make us money. But if he's a really bad team member and he brings everybody down, at some point you gotta analyze and weigh those out. He's really, really a good operator, but man, he's bringing the team down. So, you got to really, if you can't fix that person, you got to cut them loose. If they can't conform, be a part of the team and build other people up, and all they want to do is cut and destroy and hurt people, at some point you got to let them go. And then you have to do it swiftly and quickly, because otherwise the rest of the people on the team think the leader isn't doing his job. You have to really be careful. You have to really think about if you do have somebody that's cancer in the clubhouse, you have to really analyze all of it. Is it something internal that's causing it as an external? Can you help the situation? And you have to, you really have to dig down and think about it and figure out what's going on. And then you have to be careful how you handle it. Because typically that person has allies. There's people that like them. But you have to communicate clearly that, look, this is what we're doing. This is how it's going to go. And these are the reasons why. And we have to move on. And you got to be decisive. If you're wishy-washy, go, for weeks, you think about it. Well, I'm thinking about it. You just got to do it. You just got to make the decision. And it's one of the hardest things as a manager or a leader is to let people go. It's tough. And there's no textbook written about it. You can't, each situation is different. I've had people that had attitudes and you never really know if they're going to be an effective team member. And yeah, through mentoring, through empathy, I've turned them into, great team members. Yeah, because, and again, it could be outside influences. If somebody's having issues with their marriage or their children at home or, something like that, and you can help with that. Or maybe it's money. Maybe they don't manage their money well. All those things, come into effect with people. But yeah, if I can get to the root of the problem and then we can help work through it. I've had people that I thought were never going to work out and they've worked out. And it's a continual process, pouring into people and learning what's going on in their life and stuff. And if you just take it at face value and go, this guy's a cancer in a clubhouse, whoop, gone. I would have lost some good employees in these situations. Like if you have to let somebody go, that you're transparent and you tell the rest of the team, these are the reasons why that person's gone. And you make it real clear that you tried, you did your best, but in the end, you got to make a decision. And if it's decisive, confident, clear, you've got to move on. Now, there's going to be some people that probably aren't real happy. But if you're clear cut, make a decision, it's better than being wishy-washy. I just feel like as a leader, you have to go, all right, that's it. I've done my best. I've done everything I can to keep that person, to make them an effective part of this team, and it's not happening. It's got to go.
Yeah.
And then you just have to make the decision and live with it. There is one other thing. You know, one thing that I have found too is as you're building a team, you have different pieces to the puzzle to your team, right? You've got maybe it's a dirt moving side, and then you got the production side. So these guys are moving something to the plant, and you've got kind of two different teams. And what I found through the years is sometimes healthy competition is good, and sometimes it can be destructive. And what I've found is that you have to really be careful. If you've got one team and you say, look, I need another 10 loads to the plant a day because I think the plant can handle another 10 loads a day. And then you challenge the plant to say, can you handle another 10 loads a day and get it through the, for up to production? So that, you give it to the guys moving the dirt to the plant, and they did it. But then the guys at the plant couldn't handle those extra 10 loads. It can get pretty destructive. So you got to really be careful. I love healthy competition, but you got to really be careful and go, all right, these guys won, these guys lost, but you got to keep building both of them up to say, all right, how can we run 10 more loads through our production plant? So you got to be careful with that competition thing, because it can become destructive. And then you can have you can be divided among your bigger team. So you got to really be careful with that. Yeah, you got to really be careful. You got to be like, hey, here's the challenge. Can you get 10 more loads to the plant? And then to the plant guys, you go, here's the challenge. Can you get 10 more loads in a day through that wash plant? And so you got to really be careful. You don't want to say, let's do it because I don't think they can do it. You want to really encourage them and say, and then as a leader, you got to be like, all right, they didn't get the 10 extra loads through the wash plant. Why not? Hey, guys, from this end, is there anything we can do to help them get the extra 10 loads? That's building a team. Mm-hmm. It's not going, oh, you dummies, you couldn't do it, huh? I told you couldn't do it. It's like, hey, how can we do it? You didn't do it this time, but how can we achieve that goal? Let's say, just like you said, that truck driver's now getting more loads to the plant. And now he has to wait because you can only put so much through the plant. And as he's sitting there waiting, if there's two ways for that guy to think about it. On the one hand, he's like, oh, I got a couple extra minutes. I'm waiting for those dummies. I don't care. On the other hand, you got the guy, if it's truly team building and it's a culture of helping each other out, he's thinking, he's watching and he's like, I wonder if that loader operator could get over here and change his route to help pick up production. Now he's part of the team. Now he's effective, and then I have to listen to him and go, what a great idea. What if the loader went this way rather than that way? It might save. And now all of a sudden, you know what? Now he's part of the production team and he's helping them get to the goal of an extra 10 loads through the plant. And that's what you want. And it's really a culture. And it's got to go out to everybody to be included as part of the team. And it's the bottom up and the top down.